today. Was good with everybody today. I'm gonna give it a few moments to kind of build up, let a few people join in, and then I'm gonna get started. I really don't do the live too much. I'm actually fit to get ready to start doing podcasts and YouTube. So, I just kind of started going live on Facebook. More of touching on points that the dog community probably really need to know outside of, we get so much false information in the dog game and in life in general. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people don't really like to give you the real deal points because, it's not really a game for people to tell you the real game. So, today we're gonna touch on when building brands and actually making money in dogs. When you're building a brand, the first thing you need to understand as far as building a brand, you need to understand what your target area is. You need to figure out who are your customers. When you're building a brand, you really need to figure out the customers, the target area. On top of everything in between, you need to figure out your product. You know what I mean? You really need to know your product outside in. You need to be able to really know and honestly tell people what's going to happen with your dogs from top to bottom. You should be able to give people 3 to 6 month reviews. You should be able to give people 9 to 12 month reviews. Like, you really got to start getting in a position to where you can really understand your blood to be able to break it down to a customer, to really give them an insight into your vision. Because in all honesty, when it comes to other people, when it comes to these dogs, if you can't make somebody believe into your vision, you're not going to do too well in these dogs, because at the end of the day, all we really have is the social media outlet where, a lot of people ain't never met each other. You know what I mean? Like, you meeting people through Facebook, you're meeting people through Instagram. So it becomes that trust factor when you want people that have actually never met you in your life to send you $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $7,000, whatever it is you're charging for a dog. So you really got to show people through your vision and make people believe through your groundwork that you are honestly trustworthy. You know what I mean? That you're trustworthy to send this money. So when you're building your brand, you got to figure out your strong points, your flaws, your weaknesses, your improvement areas. You need to figure out the problems that your customers that have had before. You got to figure out the ups and downs that they've been through in the game, and what you can do to help better yourself in building your brand and actually serving your customers. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, this is a very heavy saturated market. The dogs ain't no different than anything else in life, from rap to music, anything. It's a lot of people doing it. So you got to figure out a situation to where you can truly stand alone, because if you don't stand alone, you're the same as everybody else. And it's very hard to survive in a market year after year that every year you got 40, 50,000 new breeders. I mean, this is probably exaggeration, but it's really not. I mean, y'all see all these dogs, y'all see everything on Facebook and Instagram and all these people promoting. You got to really figure out a way to be able to stand alone to where your product brings something different than the table than anybody else's. You know what I mean? So on top of that, the way I branded myself, I have the I Am brand. If you look up I Am is self-motivation. You are exactly what you say you are. You speak it into existence. So, I Am is the 2 strongest words in the world. What comes after them determines your reality, and I Am brand is now throughout 8 states, So that was just real kind of like quick. I wanted to touch on the program building and working on your brand. What I really want to touch on again is the numbers. Everybody's trying to figure out, how do you make good money on the dogs? With it being so many breeders and so many people using this stud or that stud, and at the end of the day, a lot of people may have more money than other people. So people, they run their routes the way they run their routes as far as the way they make their money. It's a way to make good money on these dogs without having to charge somebody $10,000, $20,000 a dog. If you basically build your program and you actually build a blueprint and you build a system. If you build a system, let's say that you got a 5-year goal, and in your 5-year goal you want to have about 10 females. We're gonna do this base model again like I did last night with 10 females. So in my base system, I have 10 high-end females. So let's say I also have a stud. My stud is extortion. Instead of me worrying about breeding extortion to 10 females, 10 approved females at $1,500 a pop and making $15,000, I would rather breed extortion to my 10 females. With my 10 females, if I average on the low end 4 pups per litter, and I sell those pups on the low end at $2,500 per pup, that's $10,000 per female. So if we're talking, I have 10 females, 10,000 times 10 females is $100,000, correct? So we're talking low end numbers. If you actually have 8 pups per litter, you know, you can make $200,000. You know, everybody got to get outside that mold that you got to charge $5,000 and $10,000 to be able to survive at a high level in these dogs. Like, don't get it twisted. I do make decent money in these dogs. I have made the $5,000. I have made more than that. You know, I average the $2,500 to $5,000 per dog. But in my mind, in my head, all I'm looking to make at the end of the day to clear what I'm looking to clear is $10,000 per litter. Because at 10 females, that's $100,000. So if you build that into a 5-year system, and in this 5-year system, you know, you make $100,000 a year off of 10 females. We're talking 40 puppies a year, $2,500 a pup. You know, that's $500,000 in 5 years. You know, so you set that system up on a bigger scale. You know, I got IM Texas, I got IM Louisiana, I got IM Delaware, I got IM New Jersey, I have IM Mississippi, I got IM Georgia, I got IM Virginia. Once I get all, that's all I got to clear too. Once I get all my camps set up to where everybody can survive at that high level, we're talking about 8 camps. Set up a system to where eight camps, you know, as far as under the IM brand, and people still got their own brands because that's not what it's really about. But you know, we talking $800,000 if everybody can get 10 females. You know what I mean? So then you go on into the other math. You know, like I was telling guys last night, I said, how do you make $30,000 off of a dog, but you don't charge somebody $30,000 for the dog? The truthful answer is you cannot make $30,000 a dog if you don't charge $30,000 for it. Well, the way I do my math, let's say I got this female, and this female I want to charge $7,000, $8,000 for. Instead of charging the $7,000, $8,000, I would like to work with somebody. You know, I feel like I can trust them and I can help them out and we can grow together. So instead of charging them $7,000, $8,000 for that female, I charge them $3,500. So $3,500, they get this female. I'm gonna tell them, look, I'm gonna include an extortion credit. You know, we're gonna run them back to extortion. I want the pick pup. So in tune, somebody's gonna invest that $3,500. They're gonna get them an entire litter. That entire litter, they'll sell that litter. They can make $10,000 to $15,000. I get my pup back. So I'm still working off that same deal that I made the $3,500 on that female. So now I get my pup back. I resell that pup and do the same thing. I make another $3,500 to $5,000 on that pup. I can do that deal 10 times to make $30,000. Yes, unless they run out. See, this is the thing about running out. I get to that in a minute. Let me finish my business model. So at the end of the day, you know what I mean? I make that off the deal. If I end up keeping that female and I breed that female back to my male, I'll make $15,000 to $20,000 off of that litter. So that $3,500 deal has now became a $30,000 to $35,000 deal. You know, you got to think outside the box. You know, it's very obtainable. Now, somebody just said, what if they run off? This is my thing. People gonna do what they gonna do. You know what I mean? You give people opportunities to make money and grow with you. You know, a small-minded person gonna do whatever a small-minded person gonna do. You know what I mean? I mean, and you know, you say ain't nobody running off. I mean, it's not even a point. Like what I'm saying is just in the good context. If I give somebody an opportunity and they play theyself, like I'm really not tripping. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm in position to do what I'm doing, because if I wasn't in a position to give somebody that type of deal, then I shouldn't have did it in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So anything that happens on the back end of that deal is on me, because I put myself in that position because I allow somebody to be able to do that. But you know, people gonna do what they want to do. If you want to run off on me when I'm blessing you and I'm looking out for you, I mean, do that. You ain't gonna have no papers. You're gonna be sitting back in last place. But you know, at the end of the day, I do these type of deals now with my partners. I have partners in 7, 8 states, and I put them in position and I watch them grow. So I don't normally do it as much for the outsiders and the public anymore. I still do here and there because I like to give people opportunities, but have people play me to the left on it? Without a question, you know what I mean? Like, it come and go, bro. Like, you know, we gotta stop because we in dogs thinking that because we in dogs it's something different than real life. People suckers in real life. People clowns in real life. You know what I mean? It don't matter that we in dogs now. Like, we want to give people too much credit that we in dogs and they supposed to do something different. Human nature gonna be human nature. that's something that I ain't got nothing to do with. They can take that over God. Like, I'm not even tripping, bro. Like, you know, man, it took me a long time to like to understand that, you know, you can't change people. You can honestly only help people out and do what you do. And if you do it from the heart, you really ain't expecting to get nothing back. And that's me, you know what I'm saying? If I do it from the heart, I did that from the heart. Man, you know, however it come back, it come back. You know what I mean? Like, that's material shit, you know? But, you know, this was just a quick live, man. Like, I'm not really super on the lives and everything. Like, I'm finna work on it a little bit more. Like I say, I'm probably gonna be starting a podcast, and I'm gonna touch on a lot of stuff in the community that really need the truth. You know, it's easy to get the lies. It's real easy to get the lies. All you gotta do is go to somebody and act like you wanna buy a puppy, and they gonna tell you everything you wanna hear. But a lot of people don't tell you their truth. They don't tell you what happens when you're back against the wall and dogs die on you, and you don't know what's going on, and you don't know what happened. And you know, it's so much more to the dogs than just getting out here and producing. Producing is the blessing, but at the end of the day, man, it's a lot of hard work that go into these dogs. It's a lot in the kennel setups. It's a lot in the cleaning. It's a lot in the vets. I mean, it's a lot of work that goes behind it to really be able to perform these dogs at a real high level, you know. But, you know, man, I respect everybody for tuning in. You know, what's good with you, Brock, big bro? You know, it's love. If y'all got anything y'all want me to touch on, you know, I'm here. I'm talking right now. If y'all got something y'all want to touch on, you know, I give you my honest opinion on whatever, you know. YouTube, yeah, I'm fit to get on the podcast, like, without a question. Like, like I say, I don't really do the live, so I'm really practicing straight up, you know what I mean? Like, I'm writing my notes and I'm making points, and I'm trying to make sure I touch on everything in my honest opinion, you know, no holds barred. And that's what you get with me, you know? What's good with you, Mr. Giant? I see you, Brandon, on my post. Big bro out there getting it. How everybody doing today, though? I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. I think this is my second live on Instagram, man. But you know, like I say, I'm gonna figure out topics. I'm gonna come better and better, and it's just gonna be honesty. And at the end of the day, you know, everybody welcome to talk in. Hey, I appreciate it. Man, that kennel setup took me everything. Like, man, I'm probably like $7,000-8,000 in on that kennel setup, but my dogs love it. To be honest with you, like, I've been breeding since 2014. That kennel setup is the first thing that actually made me feel like a breeder. Like, I've been producing dope dogs and, you know, whatever you want to say about it, but like, I finally understood that the difference in what I felt like was an amazing kennel was that setup. That setup is amazing. Like, to go out there every day and see the dogs in a 50-foot setup and whatever you want to speak on it. I mean, I'm speaking on the kennel setups now, so we're gonna go to somebody else. Would you say, what are you looking for when picking up a puppy? Okay, I go to that part next. Since we're talking on the kennel setups, I'm gonna stay on that. You know, like I said last night, if you stay at an apartment, of course, a kennel setup is something that you cannot obtain. But if you have a house and you're able to get a kennel setup, a lot of people go out and spend $150, $200 to go buy these crates when you can go spend $300 and build you a 12 by 24 deck. You can spend another $600 and get you two 5x10s and put them up on that deck. You know, for in all honesty, about $1,000, you can build a pretty decent setup on your dogs. You know, it's not that hard. And the whole thing with the setups is add to it. Like, don't do like I do it. Don't spend $7,000-8,000 at one time and try to build it all once. Build it your own time in your own place. Like, figure out a system. If you selling puppies, you know, put back 10, 20, 15% or something of each puppy sale to build on for your dogs, to get back to your dogs. Because in the reality of it, if you take care of your dogs better, and when people dealing with you and they seeing your dogs and they seeing these dope setups and they seeing how you protect your investment, they're gonna want to spend more money with you. You know what I mean? Like, they'll really want to follow you and deal with you. Like, that's something that I learned is very, very important. You know, that kennel setup. What do I look for when picking up a puppy? Okay, man, I'm an exotic breeder. You feel me? So, like, you know, for me, I'm looking for the top school. I'm looking for the eye separation. I'm looking for a decent sized head. If we talking at least the puppies at least 6 to 8 weeks old, so I can see the structure and how the dog's moving and everything. I'm looking for a rear. Like, rear is very, very, very important in my program. Like, I love a strong rear. I gotta have it, so I want a strong rear. I want good feet. In the past, I didn't have good feet when I started out and I was buying dogs. Now that I produce my own stuff, like, I did a lot of corrections and I did a lot better, getting better with time as far as breeding my dogs and putting them together correctly. I'm looking for driving dogs. Like, I want dogs that can move. I'm not looking for dogs that just look good stacking on tables. That's cool and everything, but that's just not my angle. You know what I mean? Like, it's always better if you build it yourself. Yeah, you definitely gotta do that. I'm a respectful person. Like, this is me. What y'all see is what y'all get with me. When you build it, it's for long term. Everything is for long term. Like, I don't do short term goals. Like, I'm in the dogs to build. I'm in the dogs to get better per year. I'm in the dogs to grow. So I can't sit here like I know everything and I've been doing it for so long. Like, I'm not an OG in this dog game. Like, I've been doing it for 4 years. I've made it a pretty far in these dogs because I understand the angles and I understand business. You know what I mean? Like, I'm amazing with business. I know how to deal with people. How much is extortion stud fee? Extortion stud fee right now is $1,500. It's $500 to lock in. A lot of people don't care about rear. That's truth, and it shows in a lot of people's program. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. A lot of people don't care about the rear, and you see it in their program. It's a reason why a lot of dogs just stack on tables. A lot of people don't want you to see that rear. It's a reason that when you see videos of dogs, and you got people who stack dogs up, the moment that dog moves, video turns the fuck off. I don't want you to see that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. I've been there, you feel me? Like, I ain't knocking nobody dogs. I'm not knocking nothing in between. But as a breeder, I breed to get better. So I can laugh about it because I came from that and I'm not there no more. A lot of people are not correcting the problems. They still keeping the problems. A lot of people just care about making money and trying to, you just being honest, they just want to make money. A lot of people just make money. Like, people ain't putting no thought process into putting two dogs together and shit. Like, people just breeding these dogs, you know what I mean? I'm gonna breed this dog, I'm gonna stick this to that because the paperwork gonna say this. And man, hey, that's the game. I appreciate people like that because they make it easier for me, because at the end of the day, when people run in the crowd, I tend to stand out. Straight up and down. Been like that my whole life. Anybody who know me, you can ask them. Like, these ain't gimmicks and games. I've always been on my own lane. I stay out of the way of the politics and I have fun. And I keep it respectful with people, and I tell you the truth. And I pack fair. A lot of people don't pack fair in these dogs. Trust me, I learned that. I've been there. But, I pack fair because at the end of the day, the reason I don't move with certain people in the dogs that I used to is because of the way they move. So it's all in the way you move. Like, everybody trying to think that these dogs is a get rich fast scheme. It really ain't. You really do gotta build. You really do gotta put the leg work in. Before I was doing dog shows, I was state to state with it. Like, I was just going to people's state, hitting them in their inbox, pulling up on them. I started I Am Transportation. Everybody thought I was trying to make money, and the reality of it, a lot of y'all don't understand the math. Transportation, them are the customers, period. You deliver. That's the real hand-to-hand that you're dealing with. You know what I mean? So, that's when I really started going out and really meeting people and dealing with people on a different level, because that's the real leg work. This Facebook and this Instagram is great, but as in anything in life, as a man or woman, you need to be face-to-face with people, because people can lie to you on the phone, on the computer. This social media and this image that everybody build up, you know what I mean? In all reality, man, Facebook is face value. Like, people selling you dreams. A lot of people, I've met a lot of people that's amazing on this book. They ain't that same person in person. So I like to look somebody in their eyes when I'm meeting them. Like, I want a real deal meet you. You know what I mean? Like, I wish you still had the transportation. Man, the transportation was amazing, but it was taken away from my program. I had 6 females not take when I was transporting. If I'm doing bottom 10 to 15,000 a litter, like, I lost $60,000. Like, that shit it's not for me. Any pups or adults for grabs. For me, I always got dogs available. I market different. You don't really see me post up a lot of dogs for sale, because at the end of the day, I'm very happy and proud of what I produce. And before I try to force my dogs on other people, like, you know, like I say, I got a team, we'll make it work. And, you know, I personally feel when people pushing something out for sale outside of when pups are born, because when pups are born, that's one thing, but I feel like when people really pushing something for sale, they don't really want it. You know what I mean? So, you know, I move different. Like, I'm happy with all my dogs, so I ain't trying to push them out, but I always got something available. It's always pups or adults for sale, you know? All somebody got to do is DM me on Facebook, private message me, send me your number. I mean, you know, and I send you my number, and I talk to you. And yes, I will be at some Cali shows. I don't know if I'm coming to the Cali show that's coming up. I got a litter on the ground right now. I got another litter dropping at the end of the month. So, you know, the program is most important. The dog show is a dog show, you know. And for the record, with people, anybody who do know me, you ain't got to spend money with me for me to look out for you and me to help you with information, you know. In reality, information is the most powerful thing in the world, because the information is the real guideline. That's what really tells you what you need to be doing. So that's just real love. I already know, Gary. I know who you are, bro. West, you know, I got you. You still got your number too, G. Hey, that's respect, bro. Like, man, I'm here. All you gotta do is get with me. But, you know, I've been live for a brief little minute. I'm probably finna get back in here on puppy duty. You know, I'm more than likely gonna probably start going live on Instagram twice a day. I'm probably gonna start doing a morning segment. I'm gonna do an afternoon segment. I'm gonna get with people and just see what topics they want to talk about in the bully community, and I'm gonna pick out topics and we'll go from there. I'm gonna talk from my own experience. I'm gonna talk about my own topics, and I'm gonna also do 2 lives on Facebook, probably a day, and I'm gonna basically build up to be able to do podcasts. So right now, y'all getting it without the podcast, but eventually I'm going to that. So like I say, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I appreciate the love and respect. I hope y'all stay blessed and highly favored. I am. Pressure.